Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, Force here, and today we'll be checking out the incredible adventures of Van Helsing. This is Van Helsing. Well, kind of, actually. You're actually playing as Van Helsing's son, who's been sent on a mission to Borgovia in order to slay otherworldly demons. And there's a lovely lady right next to me. She goes by the name of Katarina. She is my ghost companion, who apparently my father saved, and now she's like bound to be our servant for the rest of time or something crazy like that. I don't really understand. But anyways, this game is a real-time hack-and-slash action RPG. It was developed by Neocore Games, who also made the King Arthur role-playing strategy games. Now, this is a little bit different than their other games. Again, this is a hack-and-slash action RPG, similar to Diablo, Torchlight, Path of Exile, games of that ilk. Now, I want to be showing you some gameplay and giving you my general thoughts and impressions here. There's a lot for us to cover. So we're just going to start off with some combat. Now, if you're wondering, Force, where the heck are you? What is going on? You're in this crazy floating world. This is actually known as the Ink, and this is sort of like I believe it's a separation between the real world and like monster world or something like that. I don't know. It's some sort of strange. They explained it in the game, but I don't really quite understand it. But sometimes on missions or during boss fights, you are sent to this place where there are essentially floating landscapes where you have various encounters. So let's talk about the combat first and foremost. Hack and slash action RPG. So quite basically, I can run up to guys and left click on them, and this is going to do a basic attack. Now there's also ranged attack available, and depending on the weapon that you have, I currently right now have this long rifle. You can get pistols and things like that as well. So I've got the option to switch between a melee combat with this two-handed weapon here, or there's, I think there's like daggers and stuff like that too. I'm pretty sure I've encountered that. You've got the option between using this in combat or that ranged weapon, and I switch between that just by using R here. Now also in switching between this, we've got access to different skills and abilities. So you're gonna notice right over there at the bottom, there's a lot for us to talk about, so let's just dive right into it. So for the combat, we've got the ranged and the melee. So let's just first take a look at the melee combat. Within this melee combat, I've got my left mouse attack, which is strike, inflicts basic weapon damage, based off of my percentage of my melee weapon damage. On top of that, we've got these modifiers known as power-ups that we can use the rage resource to fill. So let's talk about what that means. So with my strike ability, which is my left mouse button, I can add precision strike, which will ignore enemy armor. Ignores attacks, ignore 33% of enemy physical resistance, and does plus 20% melee damage. Or I can add a stun, or I can add just straight up melee damage, not ones that resist armor. So you can do this up to 3 times. So what that means is I can hit 1 3 times, and that will pump this up 3 times. Notice how that increases to 60% now? And what that does is it uses rage, which is a resource that you build in combat by slaying enemies. You can use that rage to do power-ups to your abilities. Now, beyond doing that, I can clear that here with control. I can go 1, 2, 3 to do 1 into each one of these. So every single time you want to add a power-up to a basic attack or ability, you're able to use the 1, 2, and 3 keys in order to decide how you want to do that. So I could put all 3 into there, I could do it evenly, I could put all 3 here into the stun, which will increase the stun duration to 3 seconds, or I could put all 3 into the melee strike, and obviously you can imagine we could go 2 to melee strike and then 1 to stun, however you want to do it. Now at the same time, it's going to do it for your right mouse button attack as well, but that is all you have for attacks. So all you have is the left mouse button attack and the right mouse button attack. Now you're able to switch between different skill sets as well using tabs. So let me just show you here. I'm going to go increase damage 3 times. That will use up some of the rage, which is that yellow bar. And now I'm sure you expect, as you expect, that the red globe and the blue globe, that is just health and mana. Pretty standard stuff there. So it's an interesting system in the sense that you've got these power-up modifiers that you can really tailor how you want to attack and how you want to use your skills. So I showed you that for my basic attack, and now my right mouse button, I've got this lightning strike ability, and this particular one only has 1 modifier because that's all I've learned as I've unlocked these within the skill progression system. But if I hit tab, I can switch over to my second skill set, and you can designate what you want each one of these to be for each one of the skill sets. So notice I could hit tab, and that's going to switch to that. that, I could make it so that this one had this over here, and then this one was that, or whatever, you know what I mean? But you've got 2 of them to switch through for each weapon slot. For the melee and the ranged, you've got two presets to switch through, if you will. But we're going to go back. What did we want this one for? This one needs to be a lightning strike over here. Okay, so in this one, we've got this area of effect fire damage, and then we can also increase it with the modifiers by having it so that I absorb incoming damage, making it so that it does more damage, or increasing its duration. And again, using the 1, 2, and 3, it will power those up, and then as soon as I use that, that will be activated, and there you go. So there's my area of effect flame thing. Now we can move forward and hit these guys, and I've got a ton of fire damage going through, and I can do all 3 to pump up the damage, and then do that again. And we're killing all these crazy werewolves and stuff like that. So it's a rather interesting system. Ooh, wow. Got some nice gear here. My only complaint with this combat so far is that while that is interesting, the modifiers, it's still really basic in terms of what you have for abilities. Now again, I only have these 2 sets. So there's 2 weapons, the ranged and the melee, and then there's 2 sets of skills that you can set up beyond that. But that's it. So I guess at most you'd be looking at, you know, we could technically have 2 different abilities for this first set and 2 different abilities for that second set. And there's this whole skill tree system, which we'll be taking a look at a little bit later on. So at most, with each weapon type, you can have 4 different skills. So that's what, a total of 8. I mean, I know with combinations, you know, you can exponentially that will grow, but it's only a few skills that you have access to. Where the depth comes is the alteration of those skills. For some people that will be enough, but I could see that getting boring where you're always, say you're focusing on being a melee character, which my particular character is here. You know, I found that I've pretty much been using the same few skills every time, and that's it, you know? And I don't know, it's always nice to have a lot of different skill options, and this game seems to just lack that a little bit. But I like the power-up system. I think that is a really, really neat way to sort of influence combat and alter combat. All right, so we're fighting these guys over here. For some reason, this particular zone doesn't have any music. I want to let you know that typically there is. In fact, my first few hours playing this game, there was really, really cool music in the background. So hopefully the upcoming area, once we leave this, will have some of that. So that you guys can hear some of the music in this game, because it's actually one of my favorite things about this game. So there's a few things I really like about this game so far after playing it for a few hours. One of the things that I really like so far is the music, which, again, hilariously enough, we're not hearing any of right now. And another thing that I really like is just the general environment. I think it's this game's got a really, really interesting setting and a really, really interesting location, and I like that a lot. I really, really do. All right, so we're just going through this crazy area. I wonder what I just picked up. Did I pick up a legendary sword? No, it looks pretty normal to me. And this is just a normal double-edged sword. Okay, so really I haven't picked up much of anything. My companion, I can set her to automatically pick up certain things. Again, there's a ton of stuff for me to show you. So we talked about the different skill sets, the range, the melee, the different power-ups for them. And you just, as you progress through, you unlock all sorts of different power-ups. I've just showed you a couple of those. Beyond that, there's a few other things I could show you on the user interface. We can just sort of go through all that right now. And those things are, right over here, we've got some potions. We've got the health potions as well as the mana potions, which are activated with Q and W. We've got these combos. So I mentioned to you the power-ups and the skill system. Now what you can do is in this combo, you can essentially set how you hit spacebar and it will automatically select this for you. So not every time do I have to go, okay, if I want more damage, 222. And then do flames. What you can do is you set this up so that whenever you hit spacebar, it will do this combination, which is I have it designated to go 3 to here and 3 to here. So let's hit spacebar. And there you go, it did 3 and 3. And this is basically my more damage preset. Got 150% more damage on my basic strike and 90% more damage on those white flames. And I'm also pretty sure that I can switch this completely, I believe, maybe not. Let me see if, okay, that is for 3 and 3 here. Let me see if I can switch that completely depending on my setup. So I'm going to go 1, 1, and 1 while we are here in the ranged combination. Okay, ready? So we're going to go while we're in the range. Oop, what are you doing? Oh, clear it, space. Okay, so 3, 1, 1, and 1. Now let's try switching back to this one and hit space. Okay, no. So it is just, it's going to do... It's pretty set there. That would have been nice if they had a separation between the different types, the ranged and the melee, if you could switch sort of how this combo was set up. I would have really liked that. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear to be the case, at least not in this preview build, which I'll probably remind you a few times. It's just a preview build. Things could change when the game is officially launched. Okay, so we get some more items there, get some random stuff. Ooh, that's not actually an increase at all. I keep seeing yellows and I'm thinking, yeah, that's gonna be great. Nope, that's a good increase right there. Got some different gear. Don't really want to focus on the gear stuff though while I'm making the video, because that's not really what you guys want to see, and that's not really what is going to be interesting for you. So now we're going back into town. There should be some more music starting up. There we go. I know, I freaking took 10 minutes before we got to it, but I don't know why that one zone didn't have music. That's actually really odd. Again, preview build, who knows? All right, we're gonna go to the store here, sell some stuff. So I can have Katarina pick up items, and I can show you that right now that we're in town, exactly how that works. So Katarina's, well, the companion in this game is pretty cool. This is another thing that I really like, that I think this game does really well. There's a few things that you can do. So, Katarina, she is a character that will follow you around, and she's got different forms. She's got a melee form, a ranged form, or a passive form where you just get increases from her. So you can decide, do I want Katarina to help me in combat, being melee or ranged? Since I'm melee, I've picked her for range. Do I want her to be passive so that I just get a benefit and she won't fight at all? I've decided just to keep her range. Truthfully, she doesn't seem like she's that effective in combat, so I could probably just have her go into this form just to get the extra resistances. Now, bunch of other things for her. She levels up, and with leveling up, you get to increase her stats, which are body, dexterity, willpower, and luck, which are the same stats with that your character has as well. Body, dexterity, willpower, and luck. Now, you level her up, you increase her stats. You also have equipment slots for her, rings, chest piece, neck piece, and then a ranged and a melee weapon. And she has got skills. Now, I've got some more skill points. Here's a great thing to show you. So I'm gonna increase 1 here and 2 into here, because this one requires 2 per level up. So there's 2 different things that you can really focus on, it seems. There are passive bonuses for you, or you can give her active abilities. So there's active spells, Stroke of Terror, Withering Kiss. Oh wait, those are passive. These are all just passive? Wait, what is this? Katarina's Ghastly Touch be... Okay, I see. The difference is that these ones affect her combat, making her better in combat. Magical Bond connects Van Helsing, increases his attack rate. Oh, well, okay. Is this just defensive? Oh, defensive, magic find, resistances, spell power. Oh boy, I should have gone for this trait. Well, I can reset these skills anyways. So it looks like these are more offensive and physical focused on the left-hand side. So increase Van Helsing's, adds 4% paralyzed to Katarina's attack. Increase Van Helsing's, gets heal HP with each strike. Van Helsing's attack rate is increased. And then these ones over here, the ones that I went for were increased defense and also transferring damage from myself to Katarina. And then there's a magic find right there, increased resistances, and this one is spell power. If you were focusing on casting spells, overdoing physical attacks. And my little fire attack, this is a spell, so I could sort of be a magey Van Helsing if I wanted to. You could really focus on just leveling up your spell power, or your willpower rather. So she's got abilities, but one thing that I thought was amazing that they've done with the companion system here in this game is check out the behavior tab. So you can decide her appearance, how she is going to, okay, so this is her attack form basically. What's up here? I don't know why it's called appearance, that's a weird word for it. This is her stance basically, melee, ranged, or ghost. So ranged is what I've got her picked to. And then for her behavior, you can decide, do you want her to be defensive? Do you want her to target weakest characters, target vulnerable characters, or just assist whatever you're attacking? HP potion threshold. So what this will do is whenever she gets to a certain life point, it will have her use a potion. So if you don't want her using a lot of potions, you could bring this really far down. And maybe you could actually have it so she doesn't use her potion at all. It brings her down to 0. Yeah, so I guess you can have it technically so that she wouldn't use your potion at all because she would be dead before she could. But you can set it to whatever you want so that she'll use a potion to heal herself up, which is great for someone like me who's doing the transferring of damage to her. So she can heal herself up, which is essentially me also healing myself up. And then with item collection, you can have her pick up items, and you can say what sort of items do you want her to pick up. I've got her checked to gold, health potions, mana potions, essences, normal. The only things I'm not having her pick up are magic, rare, and epic items. I'll do all that myself. Everything else you take care of. But you could technically have your companion pick up everything, so you don't have to worry about constantly picking up stuff off the ground, and you could focus on fighting. You could also set a value limit, so she's not going to pick up very valuable items, which will probably be the rare and epic items, or at least some of them. And then you can send her to town, just like a lot of games are doing nowadays with companions, and then you can tell her when she's in town to buy potions and mana. This is a little lacking. I've seen systems that let you buy all sorts of other things, but truth is, there's not a ton of stuff to buy in this game. Town portal are automatic. You can do it whenever you want, and there's no identify scroll. It just takes time to identify an item. You basically right-click on it, takes a few seconds, then it's identified. So it's a pretty cool system that they have here for the companion. I really like that they've got all these different filters in terms of what you can have your companion pick up. So there you go. That is that. Let's go ahead and turn in the quest. I told you there's a lot for me to talk about with this game.
Thank you. I can do science again.
So
My pleasure.
found some item for this guy, and he's super excited about that. Completed the quest, got some XP, got some gold. Fantastic. Now, the other quest that I have to go on that I wanted to show you a little bit of is I actually have to make my way to the swamp or gallows bog to do some slaying. So let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna hop in there, take a look at some more combat. Yeah, I don't know. There's some really cool aspects to this game that I've really enjoyed so far. Like I said, the music and the environments I think are really neat. I'm really drawn to them. Whenever you go to a new area, you're going to get a little passage on the left-hand side there, which will tell you a little bit about it. So let's take a look at this. Artistically, I really like the way this game looks, and again, I think the music is just phenomenal. All right, so when we're in combat, whenever I kill an enemy, you're going to notice that yellow meter around my health and mana that will be increased. Wow, we're getting a lot of items here. We got a big guy right there. So I'm going to switch over to my lightning. With the lightning, I can power up my number 2 ability, which adds a stun, and anything that this lightning attack hits, notice they're standing there, sort of incapacitated right now. So I found that one to be really effective for a little bit of crowd control. Just hit those guys. And there you go. So let's do this again. Which is supposed to stun. Oh, I haven't pumped it up, so I gotta pump it up here. Then do it. And notice that guy's stunned right now. And when you pump it up, actually, my level 3 pump up paralyzes them for 6 seconds. It's a quite lengthy amount of time. And it looks like she has died. So, or rather, she goes into a down but not out state. And she'll come back shortly enough. All right, so we got some stuff over here. Requires level 8, but that is going to be a nice increase. This isn't, so I can shift click it, which will put it in Katarina's inventory. And now she is back, and she picked up that basic item that was on the ground. So for our quest, we need to head on over here, so why don't we move in that direction? Set our little AoE fire here to take care of these scavengers. And we have leveled up. So now I can show you. I feel like this video is going to be more about looking at inventories than showing you the gameplay, but like I said, there's a lot of systems to take a look at. Oh, Katarina's getting low here. Be careful. Try to take some of that aggro off of her. There we go. All right, Brimstone Ring, wonderful. Now, we've got the town portal ability is here with T. It's not a scroll or anything, you just have it. And then we also have these 2 different abilities right here. Now, these are what are known as tricks and auras. Particularly, these down here are tricks. I've got the ability to heal, which I can do like this. And it's got a short cooldown. And I've got this Mystic Retaliation, which increases my defense and also does a damage reflect. This one has a much longer cooldown. This is a cooldown of 90 seconds, but it's also a duration of 90 seconds. So why don't we pop that, and now it is activated. So now we've got this little area of effect, shield, if you will. So, we've leveled up, we've got skill points. Now we can use those skill points to level up 3 different trees. Mystic Warrior, which is a melee focused tree with some magic. The Occult Warrior, which is a ranged focus tree with some magic, or the Tricks and Auras, which once again, these are passives, so we've got passive skills, and then also these special abilities, like the healing, for example. So I'm gonna put, let's see, I've leveled up, so I could put a bunch of points into these. I could increase the amount of healing that we get, but I don't really want to do that. I want to focus, so I've been focusing on the Mystic Warrior tree. That's why you've been seeing me doing primarily melee combat. Now again, we've got the 2 skills that we're bounding here to the left and right mouse button, and I've unlocked so far these 2 skills, plus this 3rd one, and then in this one, you started the game off with the ranged unlocked as well. You basically had 1 point into the ranged, and 1 point into the melee, and then you decide how you spent your points from there. So you can spend your points a few ways. You can level up the individual skills, making them more potent. Notice I've got 7 points into Strike, and 3 points into the Embracing Flames, but only 2 points into the Lightning Strike. The reason I'm only doing 2 points in the Lightning Strike is because I'm not using it for damage. I should have only done 1, to be honest with you. I just didn't realize it at the time. But I'm primarily using it to get the paralysis effect of the Lightning Strike. So every time you level up, you get to spend a point. You can spend a point to, I'm going to spend 1 point to increase my Strike, which is my basic attack. I want this to be as damaging as possible. Can't get the next one until level 9, so I've got 2 more points I could spend elsewhere. I could spend 2 of those points to level this up here, make my Embracing Flames more powerful. Or whenever I unlock a new skill, you can then use 1 of your points. So let's just drop this for the sake of showing it to you. So say I wanted to upgrade my Bash here, which is going to cost 2 skill points, will drop me down to 1. So I could use 2 skill points to upgrade that, and then I could use another skill point to upgrade one of the modifiers for it. But that's not how I want to do it, so I'm not going to, but you could. So every time you level up, you get 3 skill points. You use those skill points however you please. Let me go ahead and... Well, actually, maybe I will. Maybe I'll just put a couple points here into the healing, because healing's nice to have. Now, in terms of where you get these, you get additional tricks and auras. You purchase them from vendors within the town. Right now, these are the ones that I've got access to. I'm still very early in the game, excuse me. Incredibly early in the game at the moment, so that's why we only have a few of these. I've spent 2.5 hours, I believe, so far, so again, not a ton of time so far. Alright, so those are the points that I've decided to spend, and then once we exit out, those will be locked in place. There is the ability to respec if you so desire. And I'm going to actually go over here to character sheet as well, and I've been putting all of my points into body because it is increased melee damage, as well as hit points and defense, and I'm a melee character, so I just keep dumping into that. For dexterity over here, you're going to get dexterity increases the range damage and dodge value. Willpower is mana points and spell power, and luck gives you ability to find gold, magic items, and dodging, increased chance, and then also increased damage dealt by critical hits. So maybe, you know, I might want to balance it out with dexterity for dodge and luck or something. Or if I was playing a caster focused, I'd want to go tons of willpower so that my spells, such as this Embracing Flames, would do more damage, plus I'd have more mana. But I'm just going melee focus, hit things hard sort of build, and so that's why I've decided to go with this right here. Okay, so that is that. Also, you can take a look at your HP, mana, and rage. And there is a defense and spell power information there. Information on your currently equipped skills. So when we switch that, that will just show you how much damage you do based on what you're spending. So if I were to drop these, notice my melee damage goes down here, and so does my defense, but we'll put those points back in. There you go. Detailed information as well, statistics available, various info there. And then we can hit escape, and that will lock those into place. Also not really thrilled about that. Would be nice if there was like a confirmation or an accept button rather than just what if you accidentally hit escape and you locked all your spells. It doesn't seem like respeccing's a problem though, so I guess it's really not that big of a deal, but you'd still have to walk all the way to the respec vendor. So that is I think that's all of the systems or at least most of the ones that I've encountered so far in the game. And now we can just keep attacking things. Use my ranged weapon there because it's fun, even though it's very weak for me. You can do some kiting. It just didn't seem, when I started the game, it didn't seem like ranged would be all that fun, so that's why I decided not to go with it. Let's put on my frost shield here. There we go. And, oh boy, let's go ahead and switch to this, and we will go for a long stun. Oh, I keep running into new guys. This is a problem. I think I am going to die. Wow, there is lots of lag. Hello, preview build. How you doing? I am completely cornered. I can't move, and I am dead. Well, that's really funny. This is the first time I've died. You can respawn in town at the nearest checkpoint or here. Let's respawn in town. That was really loud. I don't know why it was that loud. So let me just explain to you what happened there. I was completely swarmed in a corner, and as a result, I guess we don't have the portal to that area. As a result, I was unable to move, and then there was a lot of lag, and I don't know. That's kind of funny though. Really, really funny, to be honest with you. All right, so I think we're just gonna go through. I'm going to participate in a little bit more combat just to show you guys a little bit more of that, and then we'll probably wrap up the video. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's, can I go over there? There's a treasure chest over there. I wanna go over there. Let's draw my AoE. And my slow attack's not really good against all these swarming guys here, as you would imagine. There's a treasure chest over there. I wanna take a look at that. So, the combat doesn't seem like the greatest, but it's really not bad, and I really love the environments, and I really love the music as well, so. I mean, I've enjoyed it so far. I've enjoyed the first few hours. I found it to be pretty fun. Definitely more enjoyable than, if you guys follow the channel, you'll know that I took a look recently at Marvel Heroes. Definitely liking this a lot more than I liked that. I think the combat does feel a little bit better, although it's still not something that's, you know, completely amazing. Combat's still just all right here in this game so far. But also, you know, it's one of those games where you assume that as you progress, that sort of thing becomes better with time. So I try to avoid those big attacks. Probably a big part of the reason why I got smashed so hard back there, because I was trapped and couldn't move to avoid these. You get these big shamblers. But this also, the other thing too about this is that it does appear to be a relatively budgeted title. Now, I don't have the official final cost once this game hits retail, but what I can tell you is that the pre-orders that give you access to the game early, you get a beta access to the game, plus the full access to its release version, that only costs $15. So that leads me to believe that the final version of this game will only be 15 bucks. That could be wrong. They might just be doing that because it's for pre-orders. But I don't know. It seems like it's if it is just going to be 15 bucks, wow. Because this would be a really great experience for that price point. That could be wrong though. It might end up costing I don't know, it might end up costing between 30 and 50, but the fact that you can pre-order it to get instant access to the beta for 15 bucks leads me to believe that that will be the final price. There were also higher packages available, which got you additional things, but okay, so we got some stuff over there. Plus, we have to avenge ourselves, obviously. So let's go ahead and head back over there and try to avenge ourselves. I'll make sure we do my increased damage modifier once I get to those fools. So we're gonna go spacebar to get 3, and then increase damage here on this fire. And then we can go spacebar and then do increased damage for our bash. Look at how much more damage that is for our attack there. 205 as opposed to these normal 40 and 50. That's nice. What is this hat here? Nah, that's nothing good for me. Increased damage for this range here. Take those. So you got some dual pistols going on. That's exciting. Lots of treasure chests in this game, apparently. I'm finding them all over the place. We gotta take out these fools. So yeah, I mean, I found myself basically just sort of running around with this fire. And maybe doing the stun from time to time, but I don't know, that's really it. I think I drop down the heal with A, which puts this cool little ring, this cool little purple ring around your character. And my companion keeps on dying. Maybe that's because I'm having her take some of my damage for me. Oh no, I'm stuck in place again. Oh, please don't die again. That would be embarrassing enough that I died the first time. Alright, there we go. The rage system is pretty interesting as well, in the fact that it's a different resource that you have to sort of pay attention to and manage. Why does she keep dying? What is her problem? And talk about being swarmed. Oh man. Alright, so AoE fire is going to be the thing to do. Oh no. Not again. It's a good thing I've got AoE, because I don't know how it would be possible. I don't know how it'd be possible to survive this with one of the ranged builds. There must be some sort of area effect with the ranged build as well. I mean, I would have to imagine. Now, there's also a benefit to not using your rage. I've got a passive ability, which when I am at full rage, let me show you that here. When I am sitting at full rage, I get 60%. Oh no, it's at 30. 60 is next level. 30% critical damage while at max rage. So if you sit at max rage and don't use your power-up abilities, then you have more damage. So that's pretty exciting. Oh, and I could show you, that's something else, I forgot about that. I'll show you the perk system. First, let me do. Alright, so let's run through these down over here. So we've got the character sheet, inventory, basic stuff, the spells, menu, you don't need to see that, pointless. They've got a map available, and achievements, which I haven't unlocked apparently, a journal, just keeping track of your quest active and completed. And lastly, perks. You get perk points by doing various things. Essentially, upgrading your reputation lets you get these perk points. Now, these are the ones that I've got active. I've got Mentor, which gave me 3 extra skill points, plus a plus 10% damage while at max rage. Some of the other options, Furious, 20 rage. Increased damage to Katarina as well as HP, 5 body, which just gives you more of that stat, plus extra selling price, minus respawn cooldown for Katarina as well as regeneration. Also get a plus 2 arcane healing spell, plus 2 levels for the arcane healing spell, 10% efficiency for potions, plus extra critical damage. So again, all these different available perks that you can get, which are sort of in addition to the passive skill system. And you just unlock this by getting reputation as you make your way through the game. You can see I've unlocked 2 so far, level 2. Once I get my reputation up to the next level, I'm gonna get another point. I spend in one of these, I click learn perk, it goes on over into that side. And the essence, so you just saw an essence drop on the ground, force, what is that? Well, if I open my inventory and go to my second tab, these are my regular item tab, my second tab here are alchemical components and potions. So we have got these essences. Essences are like gems in this game. You've got items that have a max essence capacity, so this amulet here has got a capacity of 17 essence. I have put 2 plus 10 HP essence gems, or whatever you want to call them, into it to get it at that 10. Now I've got more of those, you can see right here. So these are the potions, we've got health and mana. And then these essences, this one, for weapons, armor, and accessory, there are different things for it. So it works just like any sort of an enhancement or gem system do in a lot of other games like this. And we just put these essences based on the max capacity of an item that can carry essence, and then you can put them into that. Now I can't do it here, I've got to do that at a vendor in town. I don't think you actually need to see that process to understand how it works. It's pretty simple. Alright, so we're going to up her dexterity because I am keeping her as a ranged character, and we're going to give her another skill. We've got 2 points, let me give her more transfer of damage, which is probably a bad idea because she is having a hard time dealing with all that extra damage. Maybe if I were to focus on this, I should probably increase her body so that she can absorb, she's got more hit points to absorb said damage. Alright, so we can loot, corpses on the ground. There are barrels, as you expect. There's even a treasure goblin, I kid you not. It's not an actual goblin, they call it something else, but it's this character that runs around with a bag of tricks.
Button. Astonishing observation.
Oh boy.
Why don't you push it?
Pushing the red button.
It's a bad idea.
Is a bad idea.
I want to see what it does.
I don't.
So something that you haven't experienced in this video until now is that these two characters actually have some pretty interesting banter back and forth. I actually think they're quite comical, and let me try to show you Before I push that red button, which is going to be a bad idea, let me show you some of that exact banter. So these are all items that I don't exactly want here. So we will switch those all over to Katarina, and then I can tell her to go back to town.
I won't go. Only joking. I'll do it.
I don't know. I think that first time I heard that, I thought that was kind of cute. Like, I thought it was funny, and they've got some pretty interesting back and forth banter. Now, we're gonna hit that red button. I might have not wanted to send her away before I did that, because this might mean that badness is going to happen, and I could have used her help. And there it is. Okay, so we push the red button. I got all these little friends here. Little dread-necked. Doing some damage to me, firing in unison. Kind of funny. And a little weird at the same time. Let's stun them here. That electricity. There you go. Yeah, you guys sit still. Should be some sort of an animation rather than them just standing still. I mean, there's certainly a few things that could be improved, and once again, this is just a preview build. It is not necessarily, oh geez, completely representative of the final product whenever it does release in a couple of weeks from now, or actually just a little bit over a week from now when it releases. So just keep that in mind. I don't know how much of these things that I'm talking about will actually change, but it may. Always want improvements, of course, so hopefully they make improvements. Extra DPS and protection with this cloak, and you're gonna notice there is, oh, well, I guess not with these two, but a lot of times, oh, because they're visually, the icon is the same. When you've got icons that are different, there will be a visual difference on the character, so that's good. Spell power, don't care about any of that stuff. Whatever. Keep getting these bombs here. Ooh, vile champion lady. Oh lord. More of these swarmers. I'm going to die again. We'll try to stand in a position where I can't get completely surrounded. I think that's what I've done here. And we'll put on our shield. And we will keep as long as we can. Run out of rage here, so I can't do any more empowered attacks. So just the basic attacks right now. Could try to kite a little bit. It's really not working out so well, is it? The damage is so abysmal in that with ranged attacks. They're so abysmal indeed. She should be back soon, huh? Yeah, she's coming back right now. She's supposed to be back right now. Where is she? Oh, she's right there. Why aren't you showing up here? What's going on with you, Katarina? I've got more spells to increase. All right, well, I guess that'll, I don't know, I guess that'll do it. I think you guys have a pretty good idea right now of what Van Helsing is all about. It doesn't seem that bad. I'll be really interested to see what the final asking price ends up being. I think that if this ends up being $30 or less, I would say if you're a fan of hack and slash action RPGs, give it a look. Because it seems pretty all right. At least so far, with my initial impressions of the preview build, it seems pretty all right. I don't think it's that bad. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Once again, this has been Force checking out the incredible adventures of Van Helsing, a real-time hack and slash action RPG from Neocore Games. The game will be released on May 22nd for the PC, Mac, and 360. Pre-orders are available for $15 is the most basic package, which will get you guaranteed access to the beta. If you want to check this out now, you can go ahead and do so. All right, guys, that'll do it. Thank you so much for watching. There's a lot more to talk about. Wasn't able to cover everything here in this video, but again, giving you guys a basic idea of the game. Keep watching and keep owning. Actually, there's someone to talk to over here. Person of interest. Look at this thing. Professor Toad? What? I gotta listen to what he has to say. It's gonna be funny.
I can't do
Come on, leave me alone. I just want to talk to Professor Toad. Darn it. Katarina died again? Look at this guy. Rusalka the princess, dude. All you gave me was 23 gold. Are you kidding me? All right, Professor Toad, speak.
Please don't shoot. I invoke the pact between man and monster to leave each other alone.
Who are you?
My name is... just call me Professor Toad. Everyone does. I'm an archaeologist. I'm exploring the ruins of the early Vodianoi civilization.
You must know that the pact was broken.
So I've heard, but I trust you still respect it?
Don't worry. And I also need your help. I'm looking for an ancient ink gate in the swamp.
My friend, you are lucky. I know exactly where it is. Let me show you on your map.
The hell is going on?